Oh man, I'm struggling to keep my mouth shut today because there is so much to talk about. It's Earth Day and South Africa is jumping on board. SA Harvest is turning up the heat. In fact, we are sweating in here. It's getting so hot and turning food waste into a force for good. The nonprofit has already rescued over, get this, 21.4 million kilograms of food and delivered 84.06 million meals to communities in need. That is insane. Their latest initiative, it's a national food rescue cook-off in Cape Town, in Johannesburg and in Durban, using surplus ingredients to serve up hope, to serve up a lot of flavor and some real climate action. And joining us to unpack all of this, Cassandra Potgieter from SA Harvest to chat about how the culinary campaign is tackling hunger, food waste, greenhouse gas emissions, and also empowering us through that process. Cassandra, you're awesome. What you guys do is so far ahead of the curve because people have been trying to get this right for a long time. The legislation often stands against you. The socio-economic realities certainly stand against you. Yeah. So the fact that you have gotten this far, amazing. For the uninitiated, SA Harvest, who and what are you guys?
So thank you very much for having us. I would love to say that it's a single thought, but it's actually a collective coming together. And it started off with a bakkie during COVID, rescuing croissants and dropping off one pallet. And Alan Brody at the time thought, well, we can do this. And this was his vision. He grew up with Ronnie Khan, who runs Oz Harvest, a very successful structure in Australia, doing a similar thing. And she convinced Alan to say, South Africa needs this. And he promised, and he delivered. And
he followed through. And what I love about this is you don't need a bigger picture shift. Just one successful story, one child having their potential unlocked because their belly is full. Boom, story solved. Yes. I love that. Food waste becomes a difficult one because it's not just a social issue. And we understand the massive disparity between classes here. So that is one driver, but it is difficult to get this equation right. Can you take us inside your world? Why is food security such a problem in South Africa and how do you guys tackle it?
So, in terms of the systemic issues that we are facing, it's simply a matter of understanding that there are 10 million tons of food annually that goes to landfills.
10 million tons of food wasted every year.
That's right. And we have 18 million hungry people that need to get fed. Now, we did some maths. It's always lovely to sit and work out on a calculator, but in reality, if we save 1% of the 10 million tons, we get to feed 1 billion people.
Wow.
So you start doing the math.
That's wonderful and also like disheartening and frustrating at the same time because like why have we not connected these dots? What are the biggest challenges? Why aren't we getting this right?
So I think it's just an aliveness to the possibility, and I think people limit themselves in the sense that what difference can I make?
Yeah, we feel powerless.
What we have very often is just having conversations with people in our network. We are able to have a home saying, oh, we don't have any mattresses. Thank you so much for the food that you guys delivered. And we say, hold on, we actually know a guy. And the next day, 40 mattresses arrive, which is part of our network just because people were aware of the need.
And now that NGO is getting a plug into your strategic network. Exactly. They're getting their 15 minutes, so they're more obliged to give you your 15 minutes in their space, and suddenly our net, our safe place net is getting bigger and bigger for the children that we're protecting.
Exactly.
I always bring it down to the children because ultimately they need the most protection. 21.4 million kilograms of food. Just mind-blowing. What has the impact been and how do you measure that impact?
So first of all, when you think about 80 million meals, what does that even look like? I mean, you can't comprehend.
It's a country, yeah.
Well, it's if you align your normal dinner plates, it's from here to Cairo and back. That's the amount of meals that you're looking at.
Sure.
You fill up the calabash full, you can feed everyone in there 3 times a day for 3 months. That's how much. But when I have to take a step back, and it's not to knock what SA Harvest has been doing, there are 18 million people that need a meal. And with 80 million meals having been saved, you kind of see that it's just a drop in the ocean. It's just that tip of the iceberg. But it gains momentum and people start believing.
Well, the crazy thing is you need less than 4% uptake for change to actually happen. And when you talk about your 1%, that's the first bold step that clears the clutter away and gives people a true north to focus on, which is vital that all the NGOs can operate under the one welfare notion. We'll all be okay when everything is okay. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So how does it work? How do you rescue the food? How do you get it to the organizations? Take us into your inner workings and speaking to how we can support or what you would need in doing what you do.
So in relation to getting a phone call and people saying, listen, we have 20 tons of pumpkin that needs to move, and it needs to move yesterday.
Otherwise it's on a landfill, yeah.
And the thing with that is and it's unluckily, but the upside of that is the legislative cogs that need to turn to make the landfill happen takes a little bit longer. So there's a window.
Okay, I like that. I like the way you're turning that frown upside down.
Yes, and we actually get to a point where if you understand that landfill breakdown is anaerobic, that means there's no oxygen. That means the gas that comes out of there is methane. And that is 60 times more hectic than CO2 emission.
Wow.
And if you think about the fact that we've rescued 21 million tons of food, if you take, so the emission reduction in that is about 11,000 cars being taken off the road for a month.
Pay your green tax like this. Pay it like this.
So that's how we convince corporates to say, hi, we have this 20 tons of pumpkin.
I haven't done this. I don't think I've ever done this. I'm reaching right across the studio to give you a high five because that is just
It's mind-boggling.
It is so clever, though, because it's adopting a corporate mindset in the NGO space. And we all need to... Let's move out of the corporate social investment era and just call it an investment era and invest in our country and make everyone grow together. For those of us watching at home that want to do more, in our individual capacity, as you've realized, that's where the magic is happening. What can we do?
So, shop smartly.
Okay.
I know this sounds so obvious. Have a shopping list. Buy what's on there, don't overbuy, because it ends up going into the bin.
Leave the impulse at home.
Exactly. The second thing is know your difference between use by and best before. That's a small thing that people don't always consider, because if the spinach looks slightly unhappy, do we really want to eat it?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. There are smart ways of repurposing that. And it's small shifts like that where you can actually repurpose the things that you have that will have a longer term impact in terms of your waste and all of those ramifications. But on the larger scale, I think if I can give anything to anyone, it's just be kind and just care a little bit.
Yeah, just think about it. Well, if you've got kids, what are you going to leave them? That's what I keep reminding myself.
Exactly.
What am I going to leave my children? You guys are awesome. I have a feeling we'll have many, many conversations in this space. Powerful stats, and I love that corporate push within that to powerful plates. SA Harvest is proving that tackling food waste isn't just a feel-good initiative. It's a critical step towards a sustainable and equitable future. So thank you so much to Cassandra and the rest of her incredible SA Harvest family. Happy Earth Day.
Thank you. And thank you for having us.